welcome to Experience the Process with Acorn Deckhouse Company. My name is Joy Fernandez and I'm a project director here at Acorn Deckhouse. I'm also with
Diane Williams, a project director at Acorn Deckhouse.
And I'm Michael Hawks, a design manager at Acorn Deckhouse.
Today we're going to discuss the benefits of our streamlined prefabrication process. In this presentation, we'll review our home building process, our pricing and basic timeline. Then we'll open the chat for a live Q&A to answer any of your lingering questions. Without further ado, let's jump right in. First of all, who are we? Very briefly, Acorn Deckhouse Company is the world leader in custom home design and prefabrication with a distinguished legacy of experience and quality. From 1947 until today, we have built over 20,000 homes worldwide and continue to design and manufacture custom homes everywhere. We utilize a three-way partnership between us, Acorn Deckhouse Company, the client, and the builder to complete each of our custom homes. This means that you, the client, will enter into two separate contracts, one with us and one with your local builder, in order to construct your finished home on site. Upon your initial inquiry, you will be paired with your Acorn Deckhouse project director, who will be your main point of contact throughout the design, fabrication, and building process. Later on, you, with your project director's assistance, will select your local builder, who will be the on-site liaison for your project and will be responsible for coordinating site work and utilities and directing and finishing your home. Your builder will work very closely with your project director and the rest of the Acorn Deckhouse team throughout the process. And you, of course, are the most important member of this partnership, with every one of your decisions guiding the rest of the team in the direction of your project. You, your builder and project director, will work as a team to build your perfect home. To simplify the custom home building process, we like to break it down into a 6-step overview. First is the land and site analysis. This step describes working with your project director to analyze your site and explore how to incorporate its natural features into your design. Second is the custom design of your home. This step describes working with your project director to develop your aesthetic preferences, needs, and wishes, which will guide our in-house architects during the custom design of your home. Third is the planning and pricing of your project. Although this is listed as step 3, our goal is to provide updated estimates to help in your planning throughout the entire process from initial sketch to final construction documents. Fourth is the panelization and fabrication. Once your home is designed, it is panelized and then fabricated in our indoor manufacturing facility. Fifth is the on-site construction. Here, your builder assembles the weather-tight shell of your home using the components we provide and then finishes the home based on your preferences. Finally, the 6th step is aftercare and owner services. This describes how we continue to provide support throughout the life of your investment. Now that we've seen an overview, let's dig a little deeper into this process. Land and site analysis. No other piece of land is just like yours. Each site offers unique attributes that define your future home's relationship with its environment. This is why our process can only begin when you've obtained your land. Once you're ready, your project director will discuss with you all of the possibilities and restrictions of your site. He or she will review how best to situate your home to take full advantage of views or conversely avoid any unwanted sites. He or she will determine how to best take advantage of natural passive solar warming and cooling and help you decide which spaces should showcase morning or afternoon light. Your project director will also discuss your site's topography, how the slope of the land can be used to its best advantage, and how the land will frame the house, and how the house and walkways can be artfully positioned, as well as your site's setbacks and easements to determine your available building envelope.
Our expertise lies in bringing each client's unique vision to life through thoughtful designs. Your project director will review all of your functional and aesthetic preferences surrounding your new home. They will consider the number of rooms, their square footage, materials, costs, any special features. We'll talk about the description of the spaces and the relationship to each other and to the outdoors. Once we've had these discussions with you and have obtained all necessary information, our in-house architects can begin developing design concepts. Our architects will design around your preferences and lifestyle, while also addressing regional issues such as zoning regulations, local ordinances, and any other special requirements. All of our homes are guided by the principles of post and beam construction. It's a building system that enables large open floor plans and the flexibility to move interior walls that are not load-bearing. We welcome those who embrace the design process as a creative journey. Your Acorn Deco's project director and our design team on staff will help you make the perfect decisions. It's important to understand the cost of your house fully before you begin construction. Throughout the design process, we give updated, comprehensive estimates to minimize any surprises. As the design takes on more definition, our Acorn Deco's component package estimates evolve into firmer quotations. Our cost estimates include not only your custom design as well as specialized prefabricated components, but also independent builder construction pricing, including allowances for finish items such as cabinets, lighting, appliances, floor coverings, and other amenities that are tailored to your specific choices. Our homes are custom designed by our in-house architects and priced very competitively with other custom architect design homes. Excluding the cost of your land and any site work, the typical price range for one of our homes finished can range from $300 to $450 plus per square foot. This estimate includes the Acorn Deco's design and the material package price, which alone is normally $100 to $150 plus per square foot, plus the on-site builder costs, which vary by builder and location but tend to be 1.5 to 2 times our package price. Many factors go into pricing one of our homes, including the complexity of the design as well as material and finish choices. Some factors that can affect the price. So beyond the common rule that a smaller house will be less expensive than a larger house, there are a few other factors that we should consider. Due to economies of scale, a smaller house would actually have a higher cost per square foot compared to a similarly priced but larger house. So that's important to consider when just looking at cost per square foot comparisons. We'd rather focus on what is the target overall budget and see how we can work within that. The more surface area, corners, and overall square footage will contribute to more costs versus a simpler and smaller geometry. The amount of windows and doors are a big percentage of the cost, so we always aim to be efficient in their use, while still getting the views and natural light desired. The structural use will also affect price, where our exposed beam and decking is a higher cost than a truss or conventional roof structure. Similarly, lots of natural woods for siding and trims or mahogany windows and millwork will be more than prime trims in most composite materials. Oftentimes, making the house more energy efficient can require some more upfront material costs, but the life cycle cost benefits are obviously rewarding. In these examples, we see houses with a smaller overall square footage, simpler geometries, and design features that translate into less material and labor cost. They typically will have aluminum clad windows, conventionally framed roofs with drywall ceilings, and this all contributes to the savings. Also, you'll notice that sites are a little bit simpler with the houses near or at grade, which limits the amount of site work. Also, having patios or landscaping in lieu of decks and railings can often lead to savings. In these examples, we have slightly larger houses, there's more volume and surface areas. You'll notice there's lots of windows and doors. You'll also start to see a hybrid of roof structures where the beam and decking ceiling is prominent in the main living areas, but conventional drywalled ceilings are used in the bedrooms and secondary areas to help with cost savings. Also, these houses tend to have fiber cement siding and composite decks, some use of natural wood trims inside or out. They also may start to feature walkout basements, which can add to additional site work and finishes. In these examples, we see typically larger houses, but not always. Again, thinking back to the economy of scale that we talked about earlier, these are houses with a higher use of exposed and natural woods throughout. So we see beam and decking, roof ceiling throughout the house, mahogany windows or mahogany and cedar trims, interior and exterior. There's also more of a use of natural cedar siding throughout or in accent areas. They may also feature higher end appliances and finishes. And again, you'll see lots of windows and doors, in some cases even pushing the substructure to go to steel to resist some wind loads, which can obviously impact pricing. Also, the amount of site work can bring the pricing up. So whether blasting for ledge, putting a house on piers, or creating large finished walkout basements. A steeply sloping or challenging site, remoteness, and connection to utilities are all things that may not affect our package price, but the overall building cost to you.
Once you've finalized your home's design and pricing, we begin to panelize and fabricate your home's components. Panelization is the process in which the stamped construction drawings are digitally broken down, detailed, and labeled into individual components. This process normally takes 4 to 6 weeks to complete before the resulting production plans and shop drawings can be used for fabrication. Fabrication, also referred to as prefabrication, is a term used to describe how components are manufactured in a climate-controlled indoor environment before being shipped to a job site. There are many different fabrication methods, but we utilize one called panelized prefabrication. In this method, we produce a kit of parts that can be assembled to create the home's shell on site. We build the panel walls, pre-cut posts and beams, and label every component in order to fit together seamlessly. We include everything needed for your home's weather-tight shell, like windows, doors, and roof shingles, as well as most interior millwork, such as railings, stairs, and trim. Many of the components are built by our team, while others are ordered specifically for your package. There are many benefits to our method, including components fabricated under optimum indoor conditions, fast, efficient construction of a weather-tight shell on site, precision joinery that enhances fit and increases energy efficiency, pre-cut and pre-assembled components that minimize resource waste and disposal costs on site, unique floor systems that facilitate installation of mechanicals, and delivery to coordinate with your builder's schedule, reducing the time material is unprotected on site. The panelized system is also the most adaptable and flexible, allowing us to customize to each unique site and client's needs, while still being predictable about cost, quality, and time. Following fabrication, we ship your Acorn Deckhouse component package to your site where it is assembled and finished by your builder. We include everything needed for the weather-tight shell, along with interior millwork such as doors, trims, stairs, and rails. Many of our clients select a local builder from our network of experienced professionals who have built our homes previously. However, we're always happy to train any skilled builder that our clients choose to use, even if they are new to Acorn Deckhouse Company. No matter which path you take, your project director will help you select the best option for your project. Our component packages are shipped just in time in accordance with each builder's schedule in a number of deliveries based on the project size, to avoid future components being stored on site and subject to weather exposure. Your builder will assemble these components into a weather-tight shell and then finish the home based on your preferences. Your builder is responsible for all site work, the shell assembly, utilities, and finishes such as sheetrock, flooring, lighting, and cabinets. The on-site construction time varies by project based on the home's complexity, the builder's schedule, and finishes chosen, but normally it takes anywhere from 8 to 18 months. Our contract process is fairly straightforward and follows the same timeline as our design and fabrication process. In order to initiate the preliminary concept sketches, you'll need to establish your budget, wants, needs, and aesthetic preferences with your project director. For this step, we also require an updated site survey with topography information. All of this information will help guide our architects while they are designing your custom home. Depending upon the scope of the project, a design deposit is sometimes required for these concept sketches. To move forward into architectural drawings, we require a signed design agreement with a deposit. Your main responsibility is to provide timely feedback on likes, dislikes, and modifications. At this time, you would also begin conducting builder interviews and obtaining builder estimates with the help of your project director. The construction drawings and subsequently the stamped drawings are completed following the execution of a component package contract with a 15% deposit. This is the time to communicate any final design or material changes and also commit to your builder, who will also require a separate contract. Next, we require a signed release to manufacturing form along with a 50% deposit to your package balance. At this time, our team will begin panelizing and fabricating your home's components, and your builder will begin the on-site prep work. Finally, we ask for the remaining package balance 1 week before shipping. This date will be coordinated between you, your builder, and our shipping department. There are 4 different types of drawings that Acorn Deckhouse provides throughout our custom home design process. The concept sketches of your custom home will be our architect's initial interpretation of the preferences you discussed with your project director. This sketch will include a preliminary site analysis, floor plans, elevations, and perspectives. Your project director will present these to you in a 3D presentation along with initial pricing estimates. Our concept sketches normally take 4 to 6 weeks to develop. After your sketches are reviewed, the design team will move on to developing architectural drawings, which incorporate any modifications you may have had to the sketches. These drawings are more detailed than the initial concept sketches and include an outline of material selections. The architectural drawings and accompanying pricing will be available for review 4 to 6 weeks after entering the design queue. Next, your design will be developed as construction drawings. The construction drawings are the most detailed drawings with all finalized material selections and include technical notes and specifications for building. The construction drawings are the framing plan, foundation plan, and details. Finalized construction drawings will be sent to a locally licensed engineer for review. The engineer will offer any final structural changes and his or her stamp of approval. Once stamped, the plans can be used for permit application and construction. Depending on the engineer used and the complexity of the design, the development of construction drawings and stamped plans usually takes 8 to 10 weeks. Final pricing will be provided at that point. Final set is the production set. This is the final instruction set for the builder with all the components labeled on the plans layered over the construction drawing set. It typically takes 4 to 6 weeks, but this stage happens concurrently while on-site prep is happening. So we're ready to ship the first load as soon as the foundation is in and the local builder is ready for delivery. Many times, delays are caused by factors completely outside of our control. However, we've compiled a list of some of the possible delays, which you can see here. The most common reason a project stalls is when a client delays providing feedback on the preceding drawings or delays signing the next required contract. Permitting, zoning, and engineering can also provide a delay depending upon the wait time, regulations, and restrictions. Builder estimates and interviews can also vary in timeliness depending upon a builder's schedule, requested finishes, and the complexity of the design. Unlike other companies, we don't leave you after construction. You'll not only enter into the close-knit family of Acorn Deckhouse homeowners, but you'll also have a lifetime of support from our parts and service department. Your home's plans will continue to live in our secured archives, so we can use them as a reference to provide answers to your future questions, offer update ideas, and supply replacement parts long after you've moved in.
Thank you for joining us for this webinar. We hope this presentation was informative and helped to answer some of your initial questions about our process. We will now open the discussion up for a live Q&A. We will also provide a few different documents for download, which will provide even more information. Please stay tuned. One of our representatives will be with you in a moment.
everyone, and thanks for joining us today for our webinar. We're happy to answer any questions. You can submit them online. You should see the section of your navigation pane where you could do that. We also have a few PDF files available for you. Again, refer to the navigation pane to download those. If your question wasn't answered today, or you think of additional questions, please just contact us and we'll be happy to help you.
Let's see if we have a couple questions coming in. It looks like there's a few coming in. Here's one. This is one that we get kind of often. How long does it take to make the home weather tight? So that's, I mean, you guys can help answer too, but I mean, I would say that it's really dependent on the size of the home and the size of the builder's crew.
Mm-hmm. It's relatively quick compared to a stick-built home because of our panelized system. And I can give an example for a home that we have under construction now. It's approximately 2,200 square feet, and it went under roof, weather tight, in about 2 to 3 weeks.
Sounds good. I think that answers that one. What else do we have here? Do you have builders who you could recommend in my area? Oftentimes we do. Sometimes we don't. If we do, we'd be happy to recommend a builder to you who has had many years of experience working with our product and process, and each of whom come highly recommended by our other customers. Sometimes if you're living in an area where we haven't done work in quite some time, we might not have a builder that we've worked with, but we would be happy to assist you in finding a builder.
And something I could add to that too is that we, even with builders we have worked with in the past, we'll do a builder orientation for that specific project, just to go through all the details of that job. And if it's a new builder who hasn't worked with us before, whether we found them or you brought them into us, we're happy to bring them in for what's typically the day of training and builder orientation for that project, get a tour of the factory and meet the team.
Okay, one question that just came in was regarding the building site, and the question is, do you consult on land before purchase? And I'm assuming that means before the client purchases the property itself. Yes, we can do that. We're based in Massachusetts, so if it's a local area, we certainly could come out and look at the land. If it's more distant, we can certainly do an evaluation based on reviewing the property survey. It's helpful to us to have a plot plan and that shows setbacks, the topographical information, so that we can get a good idea about what would be best for the site in terms of the design, from looking at what view corridors you may have, the solar paths, and as I said, restrictions with wetlands, etc., and any setbacks.
Looks like another question that came in is, who ends up as the engineer of record? Is it Deckhouse or the local PE? So we work with a network of local engineers as well. So we have a few that we will go back to who are registered throughout the country, and we sort of choose them by the state that they're registered in, and they would become the engineer of record, and we ask them to stamp the drawings per the local permitting requirements.
Is shipping included in estimates? Definitely yes. Basically, after we've done an initial sketch, that's when we start estimating the cost of the package for the house. And the estimate includes both our custom design services and drawings, as well as shipping to your site. So yes, shipping is included in our estimate.
Another engineering question, please comment on hurricane-resistant construction. So because we do send each of the houses out to an engineer, and they're all custom designed per the local site, then we will engineer that structure for a hurricane-resistant zone based on the codes. So we built in Florida on the coast, we built all on Cape Cod, and um, for hurricanes and all that. So and also impact resistant glazing that we'll upgrade to when required. We're basically adaptable to upgrade our system to accommodate that.
One question came in: are garages, basements, and decks included? Yes, we include them in our design, and they would be included in the estimate for your package.
I see another one coming up here. I have a difficult site to build on and receive materials. Can you still work with us? Yes. We have a shipping and delivery department here at Acorn Deck House, and we coordinate with your builder to make sure that we can get the materials to your home. We've gone to great extents to be able to do that to some homes in the past where we've had to take ferries, helicopters, many different ways to get materials to the site, but we can make it happen. And we have a wonderful design team that can work on just about any site. Some homes built in cliffsides, a lot on waterfront, as Michael was talking about before. So we have experience with both working on difficult sites and delivering to difficult sites.
Okay, we have another question. Are your houses energy efficient, and do we use heat pumps? So the second part, we've seen a lot more increased use of heat pumps. That's something that you and the builder actually specify, and then we help to coordinate to make sure it works with the design, which almost always does. And then, are your houses energy efficient? We always design our houses to be as energy efficient as possible, to meet or exceed the codes. So we'll, as a base, we're always trying to make sure that the house is energy efficient. We take into consideration the siting and soil orientation just from the start, so we can incorporate passive heating and cooling techniques. And then the amount of insulation and higher insulated wall panels, more energy efficient windows, we can always upgrade from our standard as well if you want to go even further beyond, like if we're addressing LEED or net zero or something like that. Just keep in mind, of course, that increases cost typically up front, but find that it's worth it for the payoff.
Here's another question: are there home sketches that are 1,000 square feet? Yeah, I believe that there are a couple probably on our portfolio online that are about that size. If you want to get in touch with us directly, I could probably come up with a few more. What I should mention is, it's another question that typically comes up is, do you have a catalog of home designs? No, we don't offer a catalog any longer. That's something that Acorn and Deck House had done in the past. But we found that since everyone's site is so different, their preferences are different, it doesn't really make sense for us to have a catalog. So every one of our homes today is custom designed, and we can design as small as you'd like or as large. So there are no restrictions that way. If you see the online portfolio on our website, that's just a representation of custom designs that we've done for other clients, but they may give you some ideas about what's possible. Financing. Someone's asking about financing. We don't offer financing, but we are very experienced in working with our clients and their banks if a construction loan is desired, and we can provide any of the required documentation to help with that process.
Here's another one about design. Michael, maybe you want to answer this one. It's asking, what is the typical design time?
Sure. So the typical design process, and this would be from the concept to permitting, we say is about 8 to 12 months. And of course, that's going to vary depending on permitting times, feedback from consultants and builders, feedback from you as the client, any design or engineering revisions that happen along the way will all factor into how short or long it takes. We've also have done projects as fast as 6 to 8 months, when decisions and responses happen pretty quickly. So hopefully that gives a better sense of how long it takes.
Here's one about where we're located and if we have local reps. We're located in Acton, Massachusetts, which is about less than an hour outside of Boston. And we actually centralize all of our design and project management really here in Massachusetts. But it's easy for us to work, and we often do, with clients who are based elsewhere, even all around the world. Because of technology today, such as what you're seeing now, we can successfully present any designs online and answer questions via a screen sharing application. So it becomes quite easy to work with you in other areas outside of Massachusetts.
There's one about net zero. I would like to build my home using net zero. Will this affect my pricing? I think Michael touched on that a little bit earlier. Yes, of course. We can design a home to be net zero, but the materials used and the processes used will definitely increase the cost. There are other ways that we can achieve energy efficiency without quite being as stringent as meeting the net zero regulation, but certainly we can help work with you to see what will work for your budget.
And one just came in, is it possible to tour your factory? We welcome hosting you to visit our factory. We regularly give factory tours, and it also gives us an opportunity to sit down and really have some time to discuss your particular project in more depth. So yes, it's just a matter of calling in or emailing us, and we'd be happy to schedule a tour of the factory. Someone's asking what's included in the Acorn Deckhouse package. I'll refer you to one of the handouts, actually two of the handouts. One is called What's Included, and that will kind of go through in specifics what's in the package. There's another handout that really explains what we provide versus what the builder supplies, which is a helpful document as well. But basically, what's in the package is our custom design services and our drawings. We have the component package of materials for the weather-tight shell, as well as for some of the interior millwork. And that includes the delivery of the package to your site. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. But if you'd like more detail, you can certainly refer to the handout.
One that just came in. I know you mentioned the $300 to $450 per square foot. Does that include the component package range mentioned in the PDF? Yes. So that includes our component package plus the anticipated builder cost as well. It does not include the cost of your land, and it does not include any extraordinary site work such as blasting ledge or demoing existing structures or clearing trees, tying utilities. Of course, we can't anticipate those costs. It would be something a builder would need to anticipate, and every site is so different. You could be a mile from utility hookups, or you could be 50 feet. So again, it's dependent on the site, but certainly most of our homes fall into that price range at a completed cost for the actual our package plus the builder to assemble and finish the home.
And that includes the foundation?
Yes, including the foundation.
Another question, does Deckhouse provide services for very restrictive building codes? And does Deckhouse provide services to navigate these restrictions? That looks like it was Adirondack Park, New York. So yes, this comes up all the time. I mean, basically we're designing across the country, and so we built anywhere from New England to California, which has very restrictive codes. We mentioned the hurricane codes down in Florida. And in addition to that, which this may also be referring to, is local homeowner association restrictions, which we'll also be able to accommodate. And it kind of goes back to what we're talking about, where it's all custom designed, and we use panelization as sort of a means of delivery, and so we're able to make everything specific to that site down to the codes and everything else as well. Okay, this is a good one. What are the advantages of having a prefabricated or panelized home? So we think that the benefits of panelization is its predictability. So if you think of construction in terms of cost, quality, and time, we're better able to control those aspects. We update the estimates all along the way, so from the sketch to ARCs to CDs, and so you always kind of know there's no surprises along the way. The on-site construction time is reduced as well, and so that translates into cost savings. We're able to offer higher quality materials and fabrication because we're working with tighter tolerances. We're in a climate-controlled factory as well, and so we limit those costly changes. It's both in the money cost and also time costs. So anyway, because of that predictability on our end, and then on the builder's on-site construction end, there's a lot of benefits there. And then also the sort of the flexibility and adaptability that we've talked about, where we're really allowed to do custom site-specific designs, which is an advantage over, say, modular construction, which actually looks like is one of the questions too. The way it's better than modular is because of that. So modular, you're building whole parts of the house, and so it's pretty restrictive in terms of what site can it work on or not without making a lot of modifications.
And how it can be delivered, right?
And then how it can be delivered too. So we deliver it sort of as needed for the builder. So in a number of panels that are flat packed on the back of the truck, as opposed to the big double wide coming down the street.
Right.
Someone's asking, they indicate that they already live in an Acorn home and want to consider an addition, and they're wondering if the pricing is the same per square foot as a new home. That's a good starting point to consider. Sometimes, depending upon the design of the addition, because we have to tie in new versus old, there may be some variables there that could influence the cost. But your best bet would be to contact us, and we can, hopefully we have your original plans. We have about 20,000 sets of plans here, and we could look at it together and try to figure out what a good ballpark estimate might be for the addition.
That brings up actually another thing, which I don't see the question coming up, but we often get this. Some people have homes that are not Acorn deck house homes, and they ask if we can build an addition onto their home. And the answer is sometimes yes. We need to get some information about what your home is. As Diane was mentioning before, if it's an Acorn deck house home that we've designed in the past, we likely have the designs, the plans on record, so we can refer to those. If you have a home that we didn't build or didn't design, then we will need some plans from you of what your existing structure is, along with the site plan, and we can try to work with you to build that. But it does happen often, so yes, we can.
Someone is asking, can you design a home with a detached garage? Absolutely. We often do that. Basically, it would be part of the design of the whole property. So that's definitely a possibility. We can do it.
That might be it for questions. Any last minute questions that want to chime in? We'll give it another minute.
There is one question there about thicknesses of our rigid foam insulation. And you're asking the thickness that's required. It's really based on the local code, what the restrictions are. So that's something we certainly could answer if we had a specific discussion about your situation.
All right, great. Well, thank you very much to everybody for tuning in. If you think of any more questions, then feel free to reach out to us either on the phone or via email, and we'd be happy to answer them. But thank you and have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.